Marrakesh is packed with good hotels, but cheap doesn't always mean good. Here's where I stayed, how much I paid, and how to find your own deal without stepping into a nightmare. I say most people normally go for a super budget riad, which we considered doing. I could have had the whole holiday for £100, flights and hotel included, but we made a few changes. What we decided was we were going to stay in a riad for the first 2 nights, and we found the Hotel de la Paix, and it was dead simple. I went on Expedia and I picked it based on proximity to Jamar El Fanar and the Medina because I had no idea what transport was going to be like there and I wanted to be within walking distance. We checked it out on Street View. It was down a couple of alleys, but it literally was 5 minutes from the juice stalls and the monkeys. And as for price, came in at £26 a night. So £52 for 2 nights. Wasn't quite the full riad experience because it was billed as a hotel, but trust me, it was just like a riad looking out over the courtyard. Absolutely stunning. Room, we paid extra because I wanted an ensuite bathroom and I wanted twin beds. I could have had a room in the same place as low as about £15 a night if I didn't mind sharing a bathroom. Suin does not like sharing bathrooms. So if you'd had that for the whole week, you'd have paid £150 for 7 nights accommodation. Not bad. Now the reason we only stayed 2 nights was we went on a 2-night desert safari that included accommodation, so we were not paying for a hotel. Always worth looking at that option if you're travelling light. And then for the last 3 nights we booked into an Ibis 3 borderline 4-star hotel which was on the outskirts of Marrakesh. I would not have liked to spend my whole week here because it's a bit of an effort to get into the city. The buses aren't bad, but it's just time. You know what it's like. It's nice to be able to walk back to your hotel for a quick snooze. But we wanted a pool, we wanted a bit of comfort, and this one kicked in at £40 a night, which isn't exactly budget. However, it fitted our needs and it was wonderful. So let's find you a deal in Marrakesh today. Right, so I've set this up for a week's time. We went 2 weeks ago, so the prices I hope are going to be similar. It's just before the school holidays start and prices aren't too bad there because it's bloody hot. So I've literally put Marrakesh for 3 nights because I think that's what most people go for. If I was going again, I'd probably go for 2 weeks. It was amazing out there. So the more expensive, the recommended choices are coming up as £380 for 3 nights, which to be honest isn't too bad for 3 nights, but I'm sure we can do better than that. Right, so the first one's coming up at £55. Doesn't have any reviews, which is a bit of a red flag, but it looks pretty. Let's have a look at the location. Now obviously if you were doing this, you would open your Google Maps up, but it says it's 5 minutes from Jamar El Fanar. Perfect location, that'll be in the Medina. Our problem would be looking for a twin room, but if you were going as a couple, double room there, looks quite nice. Has a bathroom, and the rooms look quite pretty. I personally would not book this one purely because of the fact it's got no reviews. I'm not always driven by reviews, but I like to know at least that some people haven't hated it there. Right, there's one here, Riyadh Marrakesh House in Douilez. That's getting out of the city. You'd have to factor in either taxis or buses. There's a load there with breakfast included as well. But I'm drawn a little bit to this hotel a day. Basic, Jamar El Fanar, 7.6 reviews. I would expect the reviews for these sort of properties to not be the highest because some people are going to be expecting 4-star and they're going to be getting the equivalent of B&B. But yep, standard double rooms with shared bathroom, £60. But the location is 3 minutes walk from Jamar El Fanar. And again, it looks pretty enough. Right, so that's riads covered. Let's see if we can find something a little bit more luxurious. So this time I've gone to Expedia and I've selected hotels with a pool, again low to high. Bear in mind this is for 3 nights, but the first 3 are under £100 for 3 nights. But I fancy something a little bit nicer. Now, also the first 3 are fairly close to the Medina if that's what you want. But let's find something that's a little bit tastier. I know from what I saw over there that a lot of the Medinas did have pools, but they weren't very big. I like a proper pool. Right, you've got the Imperial Holiday Hotel and Spa. Not got the best reviews, but again, it's billed as a 4-star. People go there expecting Western 4-star standards. You're not going to get it. This is Morocco, this is Africa. But the pool looks a decent size. Not got any twins, but you've got plenty of double rooms at £123. You're talking that's £40 a night. I wouldn't be paying a whole £40 a night for a place that's only got 5-star reviews. Right, there's an Ibis here out in Palmere, which isn't a bad area for doing excursions to, because that's the palm grove just outside. Looks like a nice place. We all know the Ibis standard's reasonable. You've got your choice of rooms, double, twin, junior suite. The suite's only £200, but you're talking 120 for 3 nights. What else do you want? The location isn't the best. However, as long as you're aware of that when you get there, it's worth having. But there is a lot to do there. There's some golf courses there, there's quad riding. You're in semi-desert territory. I don't think you'd get the full Marrakesh experience. However, you would get the full decent hotel experience, and that's worth having. But for me, I think I would do what I did. I would definitely have at least 1 night in a riad. The beauty of going for the Ibis type range, when you book any of your excursions, you're going to get hotel pickup because it's a major hotel, they will come there. So that was 2 examples at different ends of the scale. So we're talking an average of £40 a night for a half decent hotel. That's going to run you less than £300 for 2 people to stay for a week. You're not going to get that of any standard anywhere else in the world. If you go down the Riyadh route, you can drop as low as, some of the options coming up there are as low as £15 a night. And for you solo travellers, what does it matter if you've got a double room when you're only paying £15 a night for it? Yes, you're wasting £7.50. But yeah, the top tips, definitely use Google Street View. I didn't need to use it on that search because I knew the areas of the ones that I'd been to because I've been there. Lucky me. Check for Wi-Fi. It's not always standard, and even if it has got it, it might not be the best. If you notice on Expedia, most hotels will specify whether or not they have toilet paper. It seems to be a selling point over there, which means some won't. I know in our Riyadh, the maid very proudly told us every day she'd given us new toilet roll. They don't all use it. So drill it down, look at the pictures. If it shows a bathroom and you can't see a picture of a sit-down toilet, that's a bit of a red flag. If it shows a bathroom and it doesn't list toilet roll in the listing, might not do you any harm to take a roll with you, just in case. The other thing to be aware of is 24-hour reception. Our Riyadh was definitely 24-hour reception because when we were getting back late, the poor receptionist was sleeping in reception. He had a little bed behind his desk. It was just how they work it over there. It's a different country. But that really ticks in well with your late night arrivals. The other thing is, I heard stories over there that some Riyads weren't 24-hour and they locked the front door and you had to pre-book to get out before 7 AM in the morning, which can be a real bummer if you've got a 7:30 flight and you can't get out your hotel. Also, the standard search tips, if it's got a 9+ rating on Expedia but only 3 reviews, that could well have been the chef, the receptionist and the pool boy that put them in. So don't always trust reviews. I'm 50-50 on reviews. If you see 100 reviews for the same fault, you can guarantee that fault will be there. If you see one person complaining that his room was dirty and towards the end of the review he says, and they didn't offer to change my room, that's a scammer looking for an upgrade. So this Ian's Got Your Back series is just something I bang out on a weekend on top of my main video. Might not carry on doing it, I might do. Marrakesh is one of the best places in the world for a budget city break, but you've got to plan it right. Spend 15 minutes researching and you'll sleep better, and I mean sleep better. I break down the full cost of my trip in my other video here, and if you found a Marrakesh hotel that's an absolute bargain or disaster, drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching.